of the Outlaw Racing Series, brought to you by the Outlaw Racing Station, where tonight the boys are heading to the high banks, down to the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway, for none other than the Daytona 500. We're about to do a little great American racing. I'm going to be your host tonight. I'm AJT17, and joined in the booth with me for the first time on the Outlaw Racing Station, my man Brandon Wyatt. How we doing, Brandon? Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, man. Looking forward to a lot of big-time action here tonight. What I'm going to do here is run through these race settings real quick before the guys send us out some invites ready to go racing. All right, so tonight we're going to have a race length of 50%, 100 laps around Daytona. Got 100 big ones coming at you here on the Outlaw Racing Station. We're going to be doing 50% times 3 tire wear. Those Mr. Feelgoods won't be feeling good for very long. The guys are going to be making some pit stops, and a lot of strategy is going to be playing out. It's going to be interesting to see how everything all shakes out. Of course, we're going to have yellow flags on, and we're going to be running some stages as well. We're going to do a little stage race, and that's also going to shake up the strategy. That's going to be our settings here tonight. Now, real quick, let's get into some race picks here. Brandon, I'm going to let you go first for the first time on the show. Give us a pick here tonight for your Daytona 500 winner.
Well, I was actually looking through the list, and believe he won last night in the Pro League for PlayStation.
Fast Fed?
Yeah. So I think he's going to be my pick tonight. Not quite sure. It's my first time. So.
Oh, well, he actually ended up winning the Bud Shootout last week. First race of Speed Weeks. He won that one. So it's going to be interesting. That's a very good pick. He's a big-time driver. He's obviously, like you said, a Pro League driver. And he's rolling off outside of row 3 in that number 6 position. Starting position, as we all know, at the super speedways doesn't matter all that much. If you're in it, you can win it, and Fast Fed sure has a good shot of winning it here tonight. I'm going to go to the inside of row 3, starting right next to him on his inside in the 5th starting position. I'm going to take that number 4 car Bulldog. He's my man. And I think he's going to be on a mission to get his way to the front and stay there. So that is our picks. I got the 4 Bulldog. Brandon's going with the 32 of Fast Fed. And we're getting ready to go racing here at Daytona. What are you going to be looking for here tonight, Brandon, on the high banks?
Honestly, I don't know what to expect. I mean, being some of the best drivers in the world. It's,
Not a bad problem to have when you got the best dudes, some of the best guys in the world, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. I do expect a lot of hard racing now.
Yeah, one thing that I'm gonna be watching when we were last week's race in the Bud Shootout, that outside group never really could get formed up. People were kind of getting worried about being hung out to dry and losing their position, and kind of stayed down on that, hugging that inside line, which is obviously where you want to be. I'm going to be interested to see if any guys try to build that outside line and trying to make some headway out there, because as we know, you can't just roll around single file the whole time if you want to make some moves and try to make something happen. So I'm going to be seeing if we get those 2 distinct lines formed up, and see if we even maybe get a little 3-wide action. We got 13 cars here tonight, some of the best guys in the world. I think we have at least 4 or 5 NASCAR Heat Pro League drivers. So this is going to be a stacked field with some bad fast race cars, and they're going to be lined up nose to tail, pushing each other around Daytona, and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're waiting here for some invites, and we'll get back with you guys here shortly and get ready to roll around Daytona. Apologize for the blue screen. And here they come. Did you get one, Brandon?
Yeah.
Alright, good deal. Let's join up and let's go racing. Let me do a quick little rundown of the starting order here before we get things going. We had qualified last week during speed weeks through the shootout races there. Starting on the pole, the number 41 of Valley Racing. I apologize. I said Fast Fed won the shootout last time. It was actually Valley who won that shootout last week. I believe the drivers are going to be doing a pace lap here and to get lined up in position. Yeah, they are. So I'll read you off these positions here that they're going to be lined up in. Like I said, number 41 Valley on the pole outside of row 1. Number 18 DK Brown. Leading the second row is going to be the number 36 of Fast Matt, flanked by the number 19 of Chase. Inside row 5, my pick to win, number 4 Bulldog. Outside of him, Brandon's pick to win, number 32 Fast Fed, followed by Smoke in the 14. He's be starting off in the 7th spot. Galen, the number 10 car, will be outside of Smoke, rolling off P8. Number 22 SE, followed by number 88 and Nick outside of him. And then we got Fluffy, Deadpool, and Spectre filling in the back. They actually missed qualifying and will line up as they see fit. And here we go. We're rolling down the back straightaway at Daytona International on our pace lap. We're coming to the green flag here. Any last thoughts here, Brandon, as the boys get ready to fire off here?
I'm honestly kind of speechless.
Honestly speechless. I hear you, man. If you're speechless now, you just wait till these boys start getting after it. You're really going to be speechless. All right, rolling through 3 and 4. It's getting ready to be about go time. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Daytona 500 time. 100 big ones around the 2.5 mile super speedway, and it's going to be an absolute blast. Front row of Valley on the inside and DK Brown on the outside. We're starting to roll off at turn 4, coming to take the green flag. It's time to jump up on that loud pedal and let her eat. Rolling through the tri-oval now. Green flags in the air at Daytona, and we're Great American Racing. And already we got contact. We got cars going down to the infield. Who's that? The 4 car through the grass, Bulldog. Meanwhile, up front, the 41 of Valley in this drag race at the outside of DK Brown, who's outside. They roll off at turn 2. No help to the leaders. They fall in line now and start to line up on that bottom, as we talked about in the pre-race show. 100 laps around here. I was going to say they might be content to roll around for a bit, but it doesn't look like that. DK takes it to the outside with help from the 36 of Fast Matt. Now 3 cars in that outside lane. They're hanging the 41 out to dry off at turn 4. Now that inside groove starting to get some cars stacked up, led by the Stewart Haas Racing Fords. They are bad, fast, and they're trying to get up. DK takes the lead, shoves it down to the inside. Thanks for the help. I'm going to take this lead, boys.
A little squirrely down there on the bottom, in the middle of the trial, or the corner there.
Yeah, and that was a jumpy restart. I don't know if the guys were hooked up on them bumpers and somebody got a little sideways, but Bulldog ended up going through the grass. But it's DK Brown with the Stewart Haas Racing teammates lined up behind him. Probably not what he wants to see in that rear view.
Ooh. Okay. My team went below the double yellow and then came back all the way to the middle of the track. Sorted out there.
Whole field single file now. Congo line on the bottom. This might be the time where they ride around, get a feel for the cars. Oh no, and the 18 slides up just a touch, and he's going to lose a bunch of positions here. There goes the Stewart Haas Racing Ford teammates to the front, followed by the 22 of SC and the 17 of Fluffy. Fluffy's got a serious hot rod. Started in the back, and he's already made his way up to the 4th position.
I was reading the fuel tracker. They only have 13 to 15 laps of fuel in their cars. So it's
can you check on Bulldog's stream there and see how many laps are in the first stage? Can they make it to the first stage without having to come down? Probably not.
No. Stage 1 laps to go is 25.
So they might be
So they're
thinking
gonna.
about splitting this stage in half. They're all going to have to come down for fuel. And if I had to guess, probably some Mr. Feelgoods to hang on around this super fast super speedway.
Yeah.
A little
Hey,
further
it's gonna
back in
be
the field,
interesting.
got the 19 to chase, looking to the outside, trying to find a little help forming outside line, but no help is going to come with them. Oh, we got contact. It looked like, I don't know who that was in the back there. One car was in the outside wall and off of turn 2.
He's definitely not the pace right now. That
Oh, they're
is, I
getting
believe,
racy up towards the front now. Let me get you a better shot of this action here. Oh, and they fall back in line. They started to duck out to that outside, see if they can make something happen, get some cars lined up and try to get past these guys. But well, as we saw in the Bud shootout, the 41 and the 14 were so strong. Nobody could get around them until some strategy shook out and they got separated, smoking it up a little further back. But when they were riding nose to tail, nobody had anything for them, and that's exactly how this Daytona 500 is starting off. They're starting to put a gap on that second pack. Let's see if that second pack can get back up to the front 4. And it looks like they will be able to.
I'm not quite sure, but I think the 88 may have bled out.
That's what I saw. As I was scrolling through, I saw him in the pits. I don't think he was coming down for a pit stop. I think he actually did lag out. The 88 of Nick is no longer in the race. Oh, a little bit of contact. 18 slides up the racetrack. And he's going to shuffle back in the field there. That bottom groove, nobody wants to come off those double yellow lines, and I don't blame them, but I got to hand it to the guys that are trying to make something happen on that outside lane, but I don't know what they're going to be able to do just yet.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. They may just kind of ride around at least until that first pit stop, and then once they all get off the road, it's just going to be gloves off.
Yeah, I like it. Gloves off on the high banks. What did you say that the fuel window was there? Like 12, 13 laps or something?
13 to 15 laps.
13 to 15. So I'd imagine they would split this stage in half. What lap are we on right now, Brandon?
Let's see. He's in turn number 3 on his side.
Oh yeah, Bulldog did get cycled back and he's off the pace, but the good thing about stage racing is they're all going to bring them back together and we're going to have at it.
See, they're on lap number 9 right now.
When I'm watching further back in the pack, this 18 and 32 show the willingness to work with each other. They've been going to this outside, trying to get some other guys to help. Just not had the car number to do it just yet. This lead pack's got 6 cars lined up on the inside. 18 has been squirrely there, but he's been hanging on to it. He's been flying up a little bit. There's his buddy, the 32, on the outside. But they have no choice but to fall back in line and ride with this freight train that's rolling around Daytona.
Now, what I have noticed is that they were able to catch up to that pack.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little bit of a gap between them.
Yep.
They may have just costed their stuff there.
Yeah, they're getting racy with each other. They're in the back, and like you said, it started to cost them just a touch. They get separated from that lead pack. That is definitely one thing you do not want to do, is lose this draft, because you will get left in a hurry. But once again, out front, Stewart Haas Racing Fords, powered by them Roush Yates engines, they are hooked up and on fire. They are rolling. They are even starting to create a little bit of gap between them and the third place car. I saw a little bit of that in the Bud shootout too. These guys can almost drive away with just them two. They are that strong. It's going to have to take something serious to beat them tonight. One guy to look out for is that 17 car. He is very fast, and right now he's just kind of biding his time, waiting for something to happen. Drove his way up to the 4th position off the initial green flag there, from starting in the back after not qualifying. That 18's still looking out there. He's just rolling around. He's not worried about anything, man. He's just trying to make something happen. Get me to the front. Give me a shove, brother.
gonna follow along on the 41 car here, so I can find him.
You find him out front leading this pack. There goes the 32. What is that? That black.
Oh, big wreck.
Oh, we got
Trend
trouble
three.
on 3 and 4. 4 or 5 cars around. Let's get back there, see what happened. The 36 around. The 6 is around. That's Deadpool. Let's see if the yellow comes out. It looks like the caution flag is going to wave. Yes, it does. Yellow is out. Multi-car incident there in 3 and 4. I'm not quite sure what caused that, but it happened in a hurry and sucked up a bunch of cars.
This is going to change everything too, because
this
we
does.
only have 18 laps left in the stage.
So they won't even be able to make it on a fuel run. They'll have to stop this time and one more time after this.
Yeah.
Word from the race chat. It looks like the 6 might have had something to do with that incident. I'm not quite sure. I didn't catch what happened. I was watching the leaders there, but there was a little miniature big one there early in the race at Daytona.
It'll be interesting to see if anybody gambles right here too.
So you could tell that there's some strategy playing out there. The 41 is going to start in the 4th position with the 14 starting 5th. So a little bit of pit strategy here. I don't know what the tires took, what tires were taken, but we're going to find out here shortly. Green flags back in the air at Daytona, and we're racing.
Yeah, I actually had a screen up there and I didn't even see it. But he just went down.
Oh, there goes the 6. Deadpool down to the inside, but he hangs on to it. Single car incident, and right now it's the 12 leading the way. That is Spectre. He's another guy that didn't qualify, and he finds himself up front right now. Got cars jockeying for position, moving inside, outside, trying to find the best lane that's going to move them forward. And it looks like the outside lane's starting to get a little bit of momentum build up, led by the number 4 Bulldog, my man. Oh, and there's trouble. Oh, more cars around. Oh no, the 10, 14.
And
the yellow flag is waving again. The 18 is involved, DK Brown. Who's that back there? 17 Fluffy also involved. A lot of big time hitters.
Bulldog did not take any tires that last pit stop.
That's what it was, and no tire strategy for Bulldog. And he finds himself in the 1st position. Now, this also changes something, because now they might be able to make it without having to come back down. I'm sure there's going to be a few takers to come back down and maybe grab a little splash of fuel and try to make it to the stage, but I don't know if they're going to be able to hang on without having to come back in, the leaders, or not. Check and see what lap we're going to have here once we fire back off.
There are some people that did pit there, so
Yep.
they will be able to make it through.
So they will make it. And what lap are we on?
We are about to go green. About 3. We're in lap number 19 going on 20. So we will have 10 laps. Yeah, 10 laps left on the stage.
There you go, 10 laps to go, and we're back racing. Bulldogs in the lead with the 41. A Valley right back up there, and that 17 car. He's going to be one to watch. The 12 car trying to make something happen there on the outside.
Oh, 18.
They fan out 3 and 4 wide in the back of the pack, wrestling for position. Bulldog liking what he's seeing in his mirror. They start to separate from the field just a touch. Your top 3 right now is the number 4 Bulldog, 41 Valley, 17 of Fluffy, and right behind him comes the 22 of SE. Getting a little squirrely, but they hang on to it, and they're starting to file down in that bottom lane. 9 to go in stage 1.
What a recovery from
Oh,
Bulldog, though.
contact with smoke in the 18 of DK. That collects the 6.
Ooh, that was a hard hit.
Oh, and they're around again in 1 and 2.
Will that bring out a caution, though? I know this game sometimes has a situation.
Sometimes
issues.
it doesn't, but it looks like this time it did again. 3rd caution of the night. And now I imagine they'd all be able to make it to the end of stage 1 after this caution flag.
You know, there was something that I did notice. Nick is actually on the leaderboard, on the lead lap. So, I don't know.
I don't see him out on the track, but maybe he was involved in that incident. Maybe that was an early pit strategy call there when he came in.
He's still on pit road for me.
Okay.
It's strange.
But he's showing on the lead lap?
Yeah, he's in 5th place.
He had to lag out. So we'll stack them back up and do it again. Got to be going to be a quick little shootout here to the end of stage one for that green checker flag, green and white checkers. All right.
I'll look for them here.
Yeah, see how many we got to go in this stage. Green flags back out, and we're back underway in the Daytona 500.
I believe we will have 6 laps. Yes, we do.
6 laps to go here in stage one. Valley on the outside. Bulldog trying to hang on to it down on the inside. He's got help from Fluffy on the inside and the 22 SE on the outside there.
That Nick is actually in the race still.
Okay.
I just saw him on Bulldog screen.
All right, good deal. So Nick is not lagged out. We want to correct that for you. He is in the race, and he's on the lead lap and ready to race. Meanwhile, up front, the 41 at Valley cleared with the 22. Both cleared Bulldog on that outside lane. Bulldog ends up in the 3rd position after that restart. Rolling off of turn 4, come back to 5 laps to go in stage 1.
Now, there are stage points awarded for the winner, right?
Yes, stage points, playoff points awarded. This is the first points-paying race of the season for the Outlaw Racing Series. So I would imagine it's going to get a little racy here because, as we know, every point counts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Valley is so smooth and very comfortable leading the pack. Bulldog looks to the outside, and he's got some help out there. He's got the 17 of Fluffy behind him and the 32 behind him. But that inside lane led by Valley is strong. 22's also got a strong car and really good pusher. Bulldog and the 17 of Fluffy cycle back. We've seen that time and again when cars try to make something happen on that outside, they get left out to dry. 4 more times around here in stage 1.
Let me get a little racer there. Just a little information for you. Bulldog did just run his fastest lap of the race on the outside line.
Getting faster as we go here at Daytona. Now we're lined up, the whole field lined up behind the 41 rocket ship out front. Got a few cars there in the back of the pack that have lost the lead draft.
Follow along with the 22 car here. He seems somewhat of a favorite. He's been up at the front the entire time. Or for the entirety of stage number 1. Sorry.
That's right. I believe 4 more times around here in the stage. Getting to be go time, and it looks like these drivers know it. They all want that playoff point, that stage win. To set them up for that for the rest of the race here, so it's going to get good. The 36 car has found his way to the front. That's Fast Matt. And he's got his teammate right behind him, the 32 of Fast Fed. Oh, as he slides up a little bit. Oh, contact. Looks like the 14 on the inside, but he hangs on to it, gets back up in the draft. Valley kind of spread out from the field, but they're closing back in on him, and here comes the teammates on the inside. 3 cars outside, and then Valley playing the game, moving inside, outside, trying to roll with whatever lane's going to give him the shove, and he's doing it masterfully. But 22 looks to the outside with help from Bulldog. Oh, we got...
Oh, he's going to leave him.
Oh, there... Got one in the grass there.
Even the last lap yet.
And even the last lap yet, but they're getting after it. They're hanging on to it, though. Bulldog back to 2nd place behind the 41 of Valley. The 32 of Fast Fed has found his way into the 3rd position, followed behind with 22 of SC right behind him.
This is the final lap for the stage.
5-car breakaway. One more time. They're racing for the green and white checker flag. Fast Fed slides up a little bit, but gets back down in line. Trying to make something happen. He goes to the outside. 36 of Fast Matt, his teammate on the outside, does not stay with him. They fall back in line. If they're going to make something happen, it's going to happen in these last 2 corners. It's the last lap here in stage 1. It's Valley out front, strong all of stage 1.
Here we go.
Oh, and there they go. Look at it, the outside. Bulldog trying to get a shove from Fast Fed. Oh, contact. Fast Fed gets into the 4. Oh, man. Give stage 1 to Valley. with some contact there coming to the green and white checkered flag. Wow, what a stage one in the Daytona 500.
The 22 did get second place there.
And it looks like the 36 of Fast Matt held onto that third position after the contact between the 32 and the 4. Got to hand it out to these guys. They are not willing to sit there and ride around. They're trying to make something happen, trying to get the cars developed in that outside lane to generate some kind of run. They know they're not going to catch these leaders just rolling around behind them. But the question is going to become, what kind of help can they get out there? Because 41 is strong up front in that inside groove. He lost his teammate there. Smokes had a couple incidents in that 14 car. But we're gonna stack them back up here for stage 2, see how all this shakes out with strategy. And it looks like the 14 of Smoke is going to actually start on the inside there in the front row. I believe that is him, so not quite sure what strategy shook out there, but it's Smoke leading us to green in stage 2.
He was the only one to gain any positions there too, off that stub.
Strategy already becoming a huge part here in this Daytona 500. Getting a little touchy there, but we're going to make it through 1 and 2. The outside Valley again takes the lead from that outside starting position. Might have been some teammate help. Smoke might have let him come down because this is exactly what they wanted to see. Lined up 1 and 2. That outside line being led by Fast Fed with the 18 of DK Brown. Oh, and the 6 is around. Deadpool. I believe we're going to stay green here, though.
See here, we got a total of 27 laps in this stage.
27 laps in stage 2.
Oh. You see there? Okay. Get straight. There's a little contact between the 22 and the 4.
These boys are beating and banging, but they're hanging on to it steady as she goes. It's the Stewart Haas Racing Fords out front. That third place position of SC, he's had a good showing tonight, and the 4 Bulldogs up there in the mix. Let's see what the strategy is here. See how aggressive they get here early in stage 2. It's been pretty feisty. You've had some incidents. I don't know if they want to settle down for a little bit, Brandon, but that might not be a bad idea at this juncture of the race.
Oh yeah, it definitely want to save a lot of your stuff for the end. But the way these guys have been racing and how well they've been able to qualify, especially the Pearly drivers, I've been able to see very quickly that they are able to put the cars in places that a lot of people can't.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Brandon. That 36 looks to the outside lane, but no help is coming whatsoever. He's going to get hung out and lose some positions. He tries to shove it down in there in front of his teammate, but his teammate won't let him in. He said, "Nah, son, you're going to have to cycle back here. I need this spot." And the 41 leads another lap.
They are scaring me whenever they get into the tribal and they hit that apron.
That is a very sensitive place. You do not want to get down there below that apron. You will lose it. It'll snap around on you in a heartbeat, as we've seen a couple times here already. But it looks like they are kind of rolling here. But the 17 of Fluffy's not content to roll back there. He's got help from the 32 of Fast Fed. Oh, outside lane starting to develop. They might even have an even number amount of cars there in that outside lane at this point, but I don't know how many are going to stay there and ride around. Just can't get that momentum built up out there. And as you know, the inside is the shortest way around. That makes it even harder to make any moves, get anything generated up on that top side.
They could get one of those front few guys up there on the higher side. I think they might be able to pull it off.
You're exactly right, but that's a big if. I don't see them front few guys wanting to go out there whatsoever. Yeah. They want to keep them left sides painted on that double yellow, and I don't blame them. What's the lap count update here in stage 2 there, Brandon?
Let's see here. He's still on his car stats. That's the one thing about Bulldog. He always likes to look at information. We are coming to the line here, though. I will get Okay, laps to go 22.
Laps to go 22. Bulldog's got one job for us, and he's not helping us out. But
Yeah.
we'll work through it. We'll see. We'll be able to check the lap count as they cross the start finish. And as we were talking about, it looks like they are settling down here for a little bit.
Uh, he does have about 10 laps of fuel left. So,
10 laps of fuel
I,
and 22 to go. So they're obviously going to have to come back down. Probably just one more time here in stage two.
they are starting. If the 22 or the 14 would pull out and get on that high side, they could probably take the lead.
Well, I can tell you one thing: the 14 is not going to leave the back bumper of the 41. That's a fact. It's going to. The wild card
I,
here is the 22. What he wants to do, but right now he's ready. He's just good with rolling behind these two Ford Mustangs up front that have been leading him to the promised
yeah.
land so far tonight, and I can understand why. But once stage three rolls around, and I'm gonna take your phrase because I like it. Once them gloves come off, it's gonna be go time, and you ain't have no friends. You're only racing for yourself at that point. But we got to get there first. So. Got them. Valley leads another race. He's led it wire to wire so far, except for a couple pit cycles, but he's been able to drive it right back to the front with ease. Um, Valley is a NASCAR Heat Pro League driver on Xbox. Was leading a bunch of laps last night in the Pro League race at Watkins Glen. Built up a 4-5 second gap over the entire field. Led 14 of the 24 laps, I believe. Before a caution came out, and then they restacked, and he got caught up in another caution after that and never found his way back to the front. It was a really unfortunate deal there. He by far had the best hot rod at Watkins Glen, and it was a really fun race to watch. If you guys haven't seen these guys get after it on the Pro League, that's something I would highly recommend. It is a lot of fun to watch. These guys are extremely good.
It's it's pretty crazy to think about, you know. I mean, you have some of these people that aren't a pro league driver, but are up at the front of this field competing.
Exactly. And you got to think about how crazy it is for those guys that did get drafted and are Pro League drivers. A few months ago, they were just hanging out in their living room racing with their buddies all day, every day. And now they got signed by big,
Yeah.
real life, big time organizations. Got drafted. And now they're racing in the Pro League on NASCAR Heat 3. It's really cool. And I got to give it to NASCAR Heat 3 for putting that on, and the organizations, the Cup Series organizations that sign these drivers. It's a really cool deal, man. I'm so happy for these guys. Meanwhile, back at the front, they're still single file riding around here through the middle portion of stage two. We got to be looking at some pit stops coming up here, Brandon. I don't know if Bulldog has his lap count pulled up or not, but we'll be able to check it here as they come by. We'll be able to tell how many more, about a rough estimate to see how long it'll be until they hit pit road. And if they do hit pit road under green, they got to get down to pit road speed. And I can tell you one thing: it ain't easy going from 205, 210 plus mile an hour down to 55 mile an hour pit road speed at Daytona, especially coming off that banking in 3 and 4. It is a lot easier to lose it than it is to hold on to it. I can tell you that. So that'll be one thing to watch here and see if anybody gets any speeding penalties.
So we have 17 to go, but they have 7 laps of fuel.
17 to go, 7 laps of fuel. They will be able to make this stage on just one stop. They have not come down pit road yet in this stage.
Uh, They also haven't had any green flag stopped yet.
Yes, this would be, you are correct, because for stage one, I believe we had 3 cautions there, so they were able to pit under caution every time if they did elect to get service on pit road. But this time they'll have to do it under green, and that might change everything. So we'll see here in the next 5 or so laps what the strategy is, and see if everybody comes down together or where that all shakes out, because that'll determine how we're going to be setting up here for the end of stage 2 and moving forward into stage 3.
Something interesting that I just saw on my screen here watching Bulldog. Its fuel counter just went down to 6 laps after a lap and a half. So he is saving a little bit of fuel.
Interesting. And this is something these guys can do when they're in the draft. Just kind of 3/4 throttle it, maybe even half throttle, as long as they can keep up the pace and stay in that draft and save the fuel. So that'll test each driver's talent on saving fuel if they need to as well. So we're covering all the spectrums of the talent of these guys, and as you can see, they've kind of settled down here, and they got a hold on it now, and they're settling into this Daytona 500. Right now, it is Valley Racing still in the lead, being pushed by his teammate Smoke Fan in the 14. The 22 been up front all day of SE there, and then the 4 Bulldog has also been rolling with these boys up front. So we're starting to see the who's who of who's got the power and who's starting and who's staying up front this whole time.
I'm curious here. Yeah, there is someone in the back. Oh, that's the mech team.
The 19 of DK Brown. No, that's not. DK Brown's an 18. The 19 is Chase, so he's off the pace in the back. Now we got some guys looking to the outside. That's the 18 of DK Brown with Fast Fed on his bumper. Looked like the 4 Bulldog went up there. Nobody came back down in line here with the guys on the bottom. Once again, they roll back down. Couldn't make anything happen there on the outside. Just can't get enough cars up there to build the momentum they need. And it's hard when you got hot rods up front that are as fast as these guys are. You're gonna have to earn it up there if you're gonna make something happen. Get around them, try to make some positions up.
It does make me pretty curious on where Nick is, because where he is still on the truck, but we can't necessarily see him.
I personally have not seen him, but I believe he is in the race. There was a 1 or 2 car incident there early in the stage where we lost a couple cars. So I don't know if he was one of those that kind of got caught up there and lost the draft, but we'll see there. Oh, and here they come down pit road. Gotta get going through the gears. Got guys going sideways. They bunch up down on the pit road. Oh, man.
Oh, that's going to be some penalties there.
We'll see what shakes out from the NASCAR tower from race control, but as of now, we are on pit road. And the strategy, it's a race on the track, but it's also a race all down pit road, so we'll see how they roll off here. Green flag stops here in stage 2. Waiting to see who fires off here first. It's the 10 of Galen, the 4 Bulldog. Fluffy trying to get out ahead of him. No, he can't get out there. Bulldog's the first off pit road.
So there's definitely some guys that sped.
Some are being held. Oh, okay, it looks like we got some speeders. The 22 might be being held. 18, 14. No, 22 is not being held. Actually, those guys probably were serving some speeding penalties there, and now they shake out there in the back of the pack. Let's go back out to the front. And it looks like Bulldog is driven away with the lead here, but he does have some cars. I believe 3 of them behind him, and I would imagine they'll be able to catch back up to him. But right now, Bulldog, your number 4 car, the number 4 car is your leader. Those Ford Mustangs have been all over it tonight. But just because we're leading now doesn't mean that's how it's going to line up after this. You don't know how much fuel, what tires these guys took. It'll all line itself out here once we get down to stage 3. Speaking of stage 3, how many more we got? Probably 10 or so there, Brandon? Can you tell on Bulldog screen?
This last time was 11 laps to go.
11 laps to go. So we'll be coming to take the 10 to go here in stage 2. And they will be able to make it to the end of the stage. And here comes that second pack. It's going to be, now the task comes for Bulldog. Is he going to be able to hold these guys off, or are they going to try to make a move around him? And it looks like they are content to fall in line with him and line up nose to tail here, 1 through 4. So let's go through the top 4 here. It is number 4 Bulldog, number 10 of Galen. I believe that is Fluffy in the 17 and 3rd. It is, and the 36 of Fast Matt. That is your lead pack here. That has separated themselves from the field. So we just took the 10 to go. 10 more times around here in stage 2, and then look, it's going to be a 4-car race for the stage win here in stage 2. I'm on the well, I guess I'll cycle through here, see who's where. The 18's parked. He's not in this race, I don't believe, anymore. So the 41 is back with the 19, and they are by themselves. 6 rolling around by himself.
I believe the 18 and the 6 just wrecked.
So we'll see what happened
They're
there.
together now.
So 14 is Smoke and the 22 SE are together, but two very fast cars, and they're coming up to catch another car. The 12 there of, let me check that. Oh yeah, the 12 of Spectre. One of our late race entries is rolling with them, and they look like they're going to go around them. Let's cycle back here to the front. And they do get around the 12. I don't know if the 12 had an issue there or not, but meanwhile, out front is still the 4 Bulldog leading the race, being pushed by his teammate Gallon there in the 10 car. 8 more times around Daytona in stage 2.
So Stewart also is looking fairly good. Well, all the Fords are looking very good.
Yeah, as we've seen in real life at these plate tracks, the Fords have been dominant at the restrictor plate races here of late, except for Talladega this year, where my man Chase Elliott took home the checkered flag that I was there for. No, I don't remember what happened after that, but I know that my man won at Talladega, and I was there, and it was absolutely incredible. I was there physically, but I don't know mentally. I was in outer space. Back to the action. Enough about me and my Talladega adventures. Here we go. They're side by side now for the lead. Fluffy and Fast Matt, on the outside. Bulldog and his teammate Galen on the inside. Looks like it's going to become a battle here, 2 versus 2, but they fall back in line. And as we've seen early in this race, it's hard to get around those Fords when they're on that inside line. Even if you have the same number of cars as they do, they're just too strong. Those Roush engines are absolute hot rods. They generate all kinds of horsepower, and these guys, their setups, they've got them tuned up, dialed in, and they are rolling. And they're as they roll off of turn 4 here, I believe to take 7 to go here in stage 2. Fluffy looks to the outside.
On my screen, they just slid across my screen.
Yeah, they're slipping and sliding at 200 miles an hour. That's a scary feeling, but they're hanging on to it. These guys are extremely talented. And now those Fords are starting to separate a little bit from the 17, but they're able to catch back up to that lead draft. And the 17 and 36 just kind of find themselves having to be teammates here in this situation if they want to make something happen here. Oh, and they're starting to get a little momentum built up. They get even. A little bit of side draft. Oh, and Fluffy makes contact. No. Fluffy gets shook. Can Fluffy hang on to it? He does, but he is going to lose this lead pack draft. And now becomes a 3-car battle for the win here in stage 2. 6 more times. Is that right? Is that what that said for on Bulldog screen?
Here. 5 to go.
5 to go. I apologize. So now we lost one of the cars, and the 36 is kind of somewhat teammate there in this position. So now the 36 is kind of in a vulnerable position. He looks to the outside trying to make something happen. He's going to have to dive back down there, and he's just going to have to ride around and follow these guys and hope something happens in front of him.
It's pretty interesting because I did write down the stage 1 finishing order, 1st through 7th. And right now the top 3, none of them were in the top 3 in that last stage. The 36, the 4, and I actually don't even have the 10 written down on this list.
Oh man,
so
big time moves here for these guys in stage 2, and they find themselves battling for the stage win here. Now what I'm going to be looking at here, does the 10 try to make a move? If I'm the 10, I might look to the outside, see if that 36 goes with me and try to get around my teammate here, because I need that stage win. We're teammates and all. I need that playoff point. I need that stage win.
Yeah, especially after not finishing in the top 7 in the last stage.
Yes, you are absolutely right. That 36, you got to hand it to him. He's trying to make something work there. He's like, hey 10, hey Galen, I'm out here, man. If you want to go, let's go. If you want to burn this guy, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to leave his teammate. He's giving him the old Top Gun. I'm not leaving my wingman, and he has not left him as of yet. I believe we're on 3 to go. Is that right there, Brandon?
Yep, coming to 2.
They roll through 3 and 4, coming to take the 2 to go here in stage 2.
Ooh. He's trying. I think he's gonna make something happen before the end of this.
I mean, if I'm him, I'm extremely happy to be in the position that I'm in right now. And just be good with rolling with these dudes here in this lead pack. I don't know, Brandon. I think this might get a little racy here in these closing laps.
Yeah, and I mean the 17 is still back there. He's got a little gap, but I mean, say if all three of these guys do wreck and the game plays its strategy and
he's probably far enough out there. Oh, there's another pack developing behind him. They're not going to be able to get to him in this stage, but we'll see how that forms up here. One more time around in stage 2. Bulldog is your leader, followed by the 10 a gallon right behind him, and the 36, the 36 of Fast Matt. Down the back straightaway one more time. It's going to be 2 more corners here in stage 2. He's making a gap to him, trying to build a little bit of run. Let's see if he dials it up just right. Here comes the run. He's got Fast Matt right behind him. Bulldog moves up a lane to try to block. Here comes the run. It's going to be a drag race to the green and white checker. There goes Gallon to the outside. He's going to get there. Drag race. Trying to make it 3 wide. Almost 3 wide. Bulldog. Bulldog to the inside. Oh, no. It looks like Bulldog held on for the win there in stage 2. Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
What about the move there? Gallon to back up to the 36. Hey, man, appreciate you looking out there for me. Let's give this a run. And they did. They almost made it 3 wide coming to the green and white checker. But I believe that Bulldog, I don't know how he made that car 2 wide and blocked both of those lanes, but he didn't. He held on for that stage 2 win. What a roll that was there to the green and white checker. Well, that was worth the price of admission right there, Brandon. That was a lot of fun. They had me up out my seat. So we saw the field get separated there due to for various reasons. Had some black flags there, some pit road penalties being served, and a couple different strategy calls that actually ended up making 3 different packs there. Very spread out and to finish off stage 2. But the best part is, Brandon, we get to line them up and do it again here in stage 3, brother.
Yep. I believe everybody is pitting here. So.
Yeah, they had to come down there for tires, and Bulldog retains the race lead with his teammate there on the outside. But the 41 is going to roll off P4. Green flag back in the air in the Daytona 500, the final stage where Great American Racing, boys. The 10, Galen went up to the top lane to pick up his teammate, the 41. Trying to get these Stewart-Haas cars lined up and make a big time force here at the front of the field. They're starting to make some gain on that outside. But how nice can you play? It's stage 3. It's go time. I don't know how long you could play this teammate game. And you see those guys are actually starting to fall back, even with Valley and Galen, those strong race cars up there in the top side. Just can't make anything happen. They're losing a bunch of positions. The 36 of Fast Mad is in the 2nd position, followed by the 19. Let's see, the 19 there. Chase finds himself running 3rd here in stage 3.
We have 37 laps to go.
37 laps to go. They're going to have to come down at least twice, depending on how the cautions fly here. You got to imagine it's going to get pretty racy here. I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say that we have not seen the last yellow flag of the night here, Brandon.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I think we're getting pretty close to it, considering how racy they're looking right now.
So now I don't know where those Fords, the Stewart-Haas cars, cycled in, but it looks like way back in the pack, on the back half there, the top 10. The 19 at Chase looking to the outside. He's going to get hung out to dry. Oh, contact.
Ooh.
The 19 gets sent out. That was the 12 of Spectre that made contact with the left rear quarter panel of the 19. 19 losing all kinds of positions. Got out into the outside wall there in turns 1 and 2.
We're going to stay green off of that.
Yeah, single car incident. We're going to stay green. Well, it wasn't a single car incident. He had some help, but only one of them actually ended up getting any contact with the outside wall.
It was a very good job, though, that he just stayed up on the outside there.
Yeah,
instead of coming back
You're
down.
exactly right. Not coming back down in front of all that traffic. That's the last thing you want to do. I'm watching my man Smoke Fan in that 14 start to pick off some spots and make his way back to the front. We've seen he's extremely fast, but right now the top 3 is Bulldog, Fast Matt, and the 12 Spectre, a late entry, did not qualify, started in the back and finds himself in the top 3 right now. Also that 22 of SE, a strong car as we've seen this whole time, making his way back up into this lead pack.
Sorry.
All good, brother, man. What I'm watching for is that second pack a little bit behind these guys, led by Smoke Fan. He's got one of his buddies there, Valley, behind the 18 car, DK Brown. Those 3 might be looking to make something happen here. Oh, 12 Spectre getting a little squirrely. But they hang on to it and we rolling through the tri-oval. No, got one sideways. That's the 18 of DK. More contact. Oh, we got cars spinning every which way. Big time wreck in the second half of the field. This has got to bring out a yellow flag. And it does. The field starts to woe up and we are under yellow for the 4th time in the Daytona 500. First time here in stage 3. Now it becomes big time strategy moves here. How many laps do we get in there? Do you know how many we have left?
We have 33 laps to go.
33 laps to go, and like we said, the fuel window 13 to 15. Just dividing that by 2. If you say pit at every 15 laps, that leaves you at 30 with 3 to go. So I don't know. Some guys might have to get into fuel conservation mode if they want to stretch it just on 2 more stops, or they might have to come down a 3rd time. But this will be the first time they come down here in stage 3. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here and what strategy unfolds.
Just based off of Bulldog's last run in stage 2, he was able to save that fuel just by running in the
You're
draft.
right. We were watching Bulldog save fuel just hanging with that draft. And it looks like the 12 car Spectre is going to be the one leading us. Green flag back in the air and we're racing in Daytona. Fast Fed, the Pro League driver on the outside with the number 4 car Bulldog with him. Trying to get clear the leader here. And he does. He slings it down to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, gets a little bit of contact with the apron. Got cars all over the place, but they're hanging on to it. They make it through 1 and 2. Fast Fed, new leader, the 32.
Oh,
Here
both
we
of our
go.
guys have been up in the front all race too. Well, Bulldog more than Fast Fed though.
Fast Fed finding himself in the front of the pack when it counts. Got the 12 right behind him. Bulldog and DK Brown trying to make something happen in that outside lane, but it looks like they're going to shake back a little bit, lose some positions here. Not enough help there, and now they're just going to have to try to get down. Here comes the 10 of Galen rolling up in that 3rd spot, followed by the 36 of Fast Matt with Smoke right behind him. Bottom line rolling through 1 and 2. Get me to the front. Sorry guys, trying to get you the action here in the front of the field. Get to Fast Fed's car. There we are. Right on cue there. Fast Fed is your leader, followed by Spectre, and then Galen and Fast Matt.
That sounds like they're pulling away a little bit. Oh, nope, not now.
Not now. That draft is so strong.
I think he actually just backed off a little there.
Fast fed. Creating a little bit of gap between him and that pack. Got to be careful doing that. But as we've seen with his short time out front, he's been very good at managing inside, outside. You saw him shove it down there off of that restart. Oh, and here comes the outside lane led by DK Brown. Where did they come from? With the 19 of Chase right behind him. And Chase files in the third with DK in second. Where did that outside line come from? Here I've been talking the whole night about it's impossible to get around that inside line. And they just blasted by those guys. Big time run by the 18 and 19. Teammates, those Joe Gibbs racing teammates, those Toyota Camrys, now in the front three.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
This is getting good here, Brandon. We've seen comers and goers and comers and goers again. Front to back, back to front. If you're in it, you can win it at Daytona, and we've seen that. It's only going to get better from here. Brandon, would you officially start calling this your gloves off time, or are we still going to wait a little bit for that?
I think we need to get through the next pit stop before we say completely gloves off, but these guys are kind of forcing the issue.
No, I was kind of thinking after I asked you that question, I think it's kind of been gloves off since the green flag dropped on lap 1.
Yeah. It's, I mean, they seem like they're having fun with it though, so, I mean, they got all the cars up there. It's not spread out like it has been in the first 2 stages.
I'm having a blast up here. I can't imagine what it's like wheeling one of these hot rods around here at 210 plus 215 mile an hour in that draft. The car's shaking. You got to hang on to it, getting it in the corner. It's, as we've seen, that's been a little bit of trouble here at times, but they're making it work, making it stick here. And as we see, outside lane starting to develop, trying to make something happen. Got some fast cars in that outside lane. Looks like the Stewart Haas Fords. Oh, smoke down to the infield grass. Can he hang on to it? He does, and he gets back in the line, and now we single file out here at the front of the field. I'm not sure what that contact was about. I didn't catch what happened there. And it looks like Smoke's going to lose this lead draft.
That was strange. Because I was watching a match stream here, and it was almost like the 10 just turned dead right into the wall.
I'm sure.
Maybe they made contact somewhere.
I'm sure it might have been had a little trouble hanging on to it there with the high speeds, but back up front, getting a little bit touch and go. Oh no, 19's off the pace a little bit, trying to hang on to it. He does. The 12 of Spectre gets around him, and now the 2-car breakaway up front. Fast Fed still showing the way. He is your leader with the 18 of DK Brown all over the back bumper. These guys trying to separate themselves from the field, and it looks like they might be able to. I believe that's...
They've been working well together all race too.
They
once
have
they
been.
were in the back. Oh, and Bulldog.
Yeah, you're right, Brandon. These guys have been a couple of the cars that I've seen willing to shoot out to that outside lane, try to make something develop out there. And showing the willingness to go for it, and going forward is what's got him to this position up front, up here.
Something keeps happening there.
DK lost it just a touch, but he hangs on to it, stays off the wall. And Fast Fed's got her on cruise control right now. He looks steady as she comes, rolling around that double yellow on the inside line there. Got that thing painted.
We have a pack from 5th to about, well, the rest of the field.
Yeah, I'm going to cycle back here and watch these guys. I would imagine they're going to be able to...
they just wrecked. Or the 14.
14. More problems for the 14 of Smoke fan. He's had all kinds of issues here tonight. But I would not count that man out for anything. He's... Oh, we got one coming down pit road. Is that the 12? That's the 12 of Spectres on pit road. Here comes that fuel window. Now we're going to see green flag pit stops. So mark that down to 12. First one on pit road. So we'll see what that does for him being the first one to pit. Get back to your leaders here.
I'm just not quite sure that was scheduled. They still have 22 laps to go with 8 laps left in the fuel tank.
Might not have been. we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But it's fast fed
He,
still. Go ahead,
he
Brandon.
could also be banking on a caution, and there's a wreck 22.
And he might just get that caution. Oh, we must have a bunch of cars around.
I think they kept it straight. I don't know how they did.
I believe we're still under power. Green flag is still in the air. Oh man, and this has separated the entire field except for these front two cars. And that third car, I want to say that is the 19 of Chase. Let's see if I can go find him there. I believe that's the 19 there in the third position. No, I'm wrong on that. No, it is. The auto owner's insurance there, 19 Toyota Camry. He's up with this lead pack. Right now it's a 3-car breakaway at the front of the field. The rest of the field has been separated from the leaders. Exactly what the 32 of Fast Fed wants to see. He's on a nice Sunday drive here, just a stroll around the park it looks like here, Brandon.
Yeah. No, with the 41 being out front most of the race and being able to pull away from a lot of people, you would think they might maybe change positions to get closer to that lead pack.
Yep.
Put the 41 out front, but looks like they're pretty content with what they have going right now.
What's interesting here is Fast Fed is, yes, indeed, leading the race, but he's got two teammates right behind him. Two Joe Gibbs Racing teammates in the 18 and 19 of DK Brown and Chase, so this could get pretty good here as we wind down and start clicking off these laps towards the end of this Daytona 500 here in Stage 3. Do you have a lap count there for me, buddy?
The only thing I have on my screen is 7 laps left of fuel.
Okay.
We're coming around though, so should have it.
So everybody bear with us here. It's going to be kind of hard to see who's where after all these pit stops cycle out, but we'll do our best to make sure we're bringing you the lead pack action and showing you the battle for the win here in the 500.
We have 19 laps to go.
19 laps to go in the Great American Race, and it's a 3-car breakaway.
This pack of 5 is about to get this 36 car. Might a little bit of trouble. No, I think they're going to get around them just fine, but
I'm going to go back to the field here, try to see how far. So they're in the trial now, man. They are a long ways back from these leaders. Big time separation.
They are 7 seconds back.
7 seconds back. And man, I don't know if you could pull off enough strategy, no tires or what have you, to make up that 7-second gap, but you gotta imagine that the leaders would probably only be taking right sides if that, so I don't know. If this thing stays green, I don't think they can catch this lead pack.
It'd be very interesting to see where everybody is on fuel though.
It could also, you're right, that could be another factor. It could come down to fuel mileage. Just because these guys are leading right now doesn't mean they're going to have enough Sunoco to make it there to that checker flag in Daytona.
Well, also the 32's been up front, so you know he hasn't been saving anything.
Yep.
He's been the one getting pushed.
Absolutely right there. Oh man, I see that second pack start to creep into the picture there. It's a straightaway. And that's a long straightaway at Daytona, man. If they can get back up here, that would be something incredible to see.
They have cut the lead from 7 seconds down to 6.3.
Oh, man, and they got, it looks like 6-7 cars in that pack there. I might have to eat my shoe there, man. They might be able to catch these guys if they keep it rolling like this. They're rolling through the tri-oval now, and the leaders are in 1 and 2, man. They are going to get there. They're going to get there. And depending on who does what on pit road, it could get really good. The second pack is being led by the 17 of Fluffy. They got 1, 2, 3, 6 cars in this pack to the 3 in front. Man, I think they're gonna suck them up and be right back on the back bumper of the leaders, ready to race. Leaders rolling through 3 and 4, or the second pack rolling through 3 and 4. I apologize, and the leaders are coming off of 4 right now. Oh, now we got some takers on pit road. All 3 leaders coming down pit road now, led by Fast Fed in the 32. Looks like they got it woed up good. I don't foresee any pit road speeding violations coming there, so we'll see what these guys do and see if they all come off here together.
Oh, no. I don't know if that was a good thing for this pack of six. Bulldog does have 3 laps left of fuel. But was it too early? I didn't see the lap counter there.
Too many questions to answer right now. The only way to answer them is let these laps click off and let it all wind down, and then we'll find out all together here, boys and girls. Now that second pack dives down the pit road. Oh, and a little bit of contact. 36 a fast Matt under the outside wall. 4 blows by pit road. Oh no, you cannot go outside that orange cone 4. You got to get back on the racetrack. Bad deal for the 4 Bulldog. Oh man.
They just...
Heartbreak hotel for the 4. His 500 is most likely over. Alright, so now I'm going to go back to our lead pack. Try to find these guys. Give me the 32. He is still your leader.
Oh no. And Bulldog's still trying to get on pit road.
Oh, nightmare central for the 4. His 500 is over. So I'm on this lead pack. That second pack is on pit road. We'll see how far the gap is. Leaders coming down through the tri-oval now, and I imagine pit stops are concluding down on pit road. They are. That second pack rolling off of pit road now. Second pack is ahead of them, but they're going to get blown by the leaders here as they get up to speed. Fast Fed back to the lead at Daytona. Man, they might be able to hang with them here. Big time moves. It looks like they've kind of made that gap smaller here. Now we're going to see if it looks like 3 cars to 3 cars. Now I don't know if they'll be able to make up that ground. Are we good on fuel here, Brandon? I mean, what? Give me a lap count. So they just pitted right now.
Yeah, see, 87 out of 100, so 14 laps.
So it's going to be right on the window there. Not only do we have fuel mileage strategy, we have the. Go ahead.
Well, it's also going to be interesting because this front pack right here pitted before that group.
They did.
And that was before lap 15.
Yeah, so that second pack stayed out a lap longer, which will help with the fuel situation for those guys. So we'll be watching these leaders here, still led by Fast Fed in the 32, the 19 of Chase, and his teammate, the 18 of DK Brown. So what I'm looking at here, if that second pack cannot get to these guys, and these guys can make it on fuel, Fast Fed's going to have to hold off 2 teammates for this Daytona 500 win. That's going to be a task.
Right now it's 3 versus 3. We got the 14, the 41, and the 6.
And it looks like if anything it looks like if anything they've lost ground to him, Brandon, here to that lead pack. So if we're good on fuel here, you might be looking at these top 3 here. One of them will be your winner.
Let's see here. Yeah, Nick is still in the race. He's in 9th. 4.5 seconds ahead of Bulldog.
I don't get it. Every time I cycle to him, he's on pit road. So maybe just something wrong with my broadcast or something. But I've not seen the 88 on the racetrack the whole time. But 88's on the racetrack.
He's just invisible. So there's just a random caution.
No, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good tactic to employ there. If I could do that, I'd do the same thing.
Let's see. Yeah, the 12 also did get screwed out of that too. He's back in 12th.
Winding it down here, getting closer to about 10 to go. Probably about 11 or 12 to go, if you could tell there, Brandon. I'm not quite sure, but the laps are clicking off quick. It's getting to be go time really fast. And they got to believe these the 18 and 19 are trying to scheme up something to try to get around this rocket ship that the 32's got under him right now.
See, there's 11 laps, so they're coming to 10 to go right here.
10 more times around Daytona in the Great American Race. Fast Fed, your leader. Second position held by the number 19 of Chase. Third position, 18 of DK Brown. And if our calculations are correct here, Brandon, one of these 3 guys is going to win this thing.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that they're pretty confident with pitting that soon. Because looking at maps like fuel right now, it's just not adding up. And they pitted a lap later.
You are right about that. This lead pack here did come down a lap early. But I would imagine they had it dialed up, lined up to where they know they can make it on fuel, or collectively these three could be saving fuel because they have a huge gap on that second pack.
Yeah.
Oh, get down to the apron! No, contact! Oh no, Fast Fed hit the apron, and it started a chain reaction, and the 18 and 19.
There's a caution. Oh, the 14 too.
It sounds like we're under power here, and it's going to stay green. We are.
The 41 and the 6.
Bad deal there, man. We lost the two guys right behind our leader. I don't want to pin that on Fast Fed and say that was his fault. I saw him clip the apron, then I saw the two cars behind him kind of split ways and start wrecking. So I don't know if that was caused by the 32 or if the two behind him got into each other. But the 32 clipped that apron coming off of turn 2, and it was over from there. And the race, in effect, might be over from here without the yellow flag coming out.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that might have saved Bulldog there, but obviously the caution not coming out won't help. But the 41 is now in second place, though.
Now, the 32 of Fast Fed is by himself, and there is a second pack with multiple cars behind him. So this thing might not be over yet, dude. Let me try. I'm trying to find the second pack here. So they are. Oh man, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. They're gonna catch him, bro.
Yeah, they can get lined up. They're gonna have 4 cars, and that's probably gonna blow either right by him.
Oh, dude,
or
they're
he's
coming.
Gonna try to block that run.
They are coming, led by the 41 of Valley there, and then who's that? The 19 behind him. It is the 19. The 19 and the 18 ended up getting in this group with the 41 of Valley and the 6 of Deadpool. So now we got 4 cars trying to run down the leader. I believe we might have about 8 to go here. Oh, 6 gets a little squirrely down on the apron, but hangs on to it. Good driving by him, as well as the 18 of DK Brown hanging on to that. These guys need to line up nose to tail and get after it and go try to run down this leader. They're racing a little too hard right now. The 32 getting bigger and bigger out the windshield of the 41. They're closing the gap. These guys got to stay lined up, though, man. If you can, try to give me a lap count there, Brandon.
All right. Let's see. Matt has 8 laps of fuel. Just split down to 7. I believe he's coming to lap 94, so they should be at 6 laps to go, I believe.
Sounds like we're good on fuel. Coming to take 6 to go here.
Yeah. He just hit 6 to go, so they were going to hit 5 to go right here.
So the leaders are coming to 5 laps to go around Daytona for the 500. And I was wrong. I said that only 3 cars had a shot to win this. 5 cars now have a shot to win this. They are catching the leader, 32 of Fast Fed, quickly. Here they come. Gloves are off. Race is on in the Daytona 500. Let's do this, Brandon. This is going to get good. Now it's going to be up to the 32 to make this thing 2, 3, 4 wide. I don't know how he's going to do it, but these guys are coming in. They have a huge run. Fed shoves it up to that top groove. Ready and willing to come down when necessary, and it looks like he does, and it looks like he's going to be able to stay in front of these guys. Maybe. Yes. Oh no, Valley looks to the outside, and the 41 is there going to be any help. 4 laps to go at Daytona.
Oh, 5 car. Oh.
Fast Fed, your leader. The 19 and 18 make their way back up into the 2nd and 3rd position. Valley falls in behind them in 4th. It's game time now. 4 laps to go. Just double check that lap count so I make sure I have the right call here. Make sure we got the checkered flag here. So we should be taking the 3 to go, right, Brandon?
He's about to get to the line, and I will. Actually, yeah.
So 3 to go for Bulldog?
4 to go for him. So 3 to go for these guys.
3 more laps at Daytona. Fast Fed's your leader on the outside with DK Brown behind him. Here comes the 19 to chase on the inside. 41 of Valley behind him.
Oh, with the 32. I was about to say, why with the 32? He was leaving that bottom wide open.
32 doing the elevator move top to bottom, rolling with whatever groove is fastest. He's got DK behind him, 19 and 41 on the inside. Oh, we got
Yeah.
contact in the back of the pack. I don't know if that'll bring out a yellow. No, it does not. Fast Fed continues to lead the way, coming to take the 2 to go. 18 of DK Brown all over him. Through the tri-oval we come. 2 more laps in the Daytona 500. It is absolute go time. Oh, no, we got one around and one. Oh, my goodness. They avoid him. Through 1 and 2 we roll. We stay green with the 2 to go. 2 more times around. DK looks to the inside. Fast Fed outside. DK's even with him.
22.
DK's got help from the 41 and Valley behind him. Fast Fed on the outside. Oh, and Fast Fed gets hung out to try by the 19. New leader, the 18, DK Brown. Oh, no. Fast Fed got Congo lined on the bottom. Got Freight Train. Coming to take the 1 to go. New leader, the 18. White flags waving at Daytona in the 500. One more time around.
No, it is the next flag. Next flag ends it, right?
Next flag ends this race. DK Brown, your leader, 41 of Valley. Watch the 41 here. He is going to make something happen.
Yeah, I don't think that 41's going to stay there.
They're lined up nose to tail, but they won't be for much longer. There goes the 19 of Chase to the outside, but no takers yet. 2 more turns for the Daytona 500. Who's going to win the Great American Race? It's DK Brown, your leader. Rolling off of turn 4. Here comes the run with the 41. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get there. There's no one. 18 DK Brown. Joe Gibbs Racing. Camry wins the Daytona 500. Oh my goodness. What a race and what a bad deal for Fast Fed there. He was leading all of stage 3 and then just got Freight Train on the bottom. I don't know where the 18 generated that momentum or if there's a little bit of contact between him and the 32. But the 18 of DK Brown is your Daytona 500 champion. Congratulations, and what a race, gentlemen. That was some fun. So, I believe the top 3, let's get this top 3. DK Brown, 18, your winner. Valley Racing. Valley just couldn't get anything going. I was waiting for the guys to send something out to the outside lane. They never did. It looked like Valley was going to try to make the move, get down under him on the inside, and it just couldn't make it happen. Hell of a drive there by the 18, man. That did not play out how I anticipated. We thought the 18 and 19 were done when they got into that contact with the 32 of Fast Fed, and he was left all by himself. Turns out that was the worst thing that could have happened to the 32. Oh, man. I can't wait to talk to these guys after that one. And I think Fast Fed ended up hanging on to it for the 3rd finishing position.
See, yes, he did.
But DK Brown, where did he come from? How did that move happen? Whatever it was, he just won the Daytona 500, man.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Check out these lap times.
I think everybody's starting to leave.
My goodness, what a race at Daytona. Oh,
43.1.
43.1. Wow. Fast Fed indeed. Fast Fed. Just didn't line out for him there at the end, man. I feel for him, dude. He had it all but signed, sealed, and delivered, and turns out that's not what was meant to be. All right.
Pretty curious if that may have told the leaderboard.
Oh, I'm sure it did. I'm gonna get these guys in here. We're gonna try to chat with these fellas here, the top 3. I apologize for the. Let me see here. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he got the 4th.
So change of plans. I don't know if I'm supposed to join it after he leaves. I guess I am. No, I guess I'm supposed to join it when he leaves. But we're gonna have a little burnout sesh for your Daytona 500 winner, the 18 of DK Brown. I did not see that coming. Dude, I thought the race was over, man, when those top three that had separated themselves from everyone else. And then they made some contact. They scrubbed the apron a little bit. The 18 and 19 kind of split up. And then what changed the race was when the 18 and 19, after having that issue, they picked up Valley Racing and ended up running back down Fast Fed, and that ended up deciding the race there. What a drive around Daytona, man! What did you think here for your for your first go at it here on the Outlaw Racing Station, man? Did you have any fun? I know I did.
Oh yeah, for sure. Uh, that was pretty amazing.
And thanks for
Uh,
joining me, man. For those of you that don't know, my man Brandon Wyatt here joined me last second here. My normal co-host couldn't make it here tonight, and my man John Deeds. But heck of a job there, Brandon. I hope you enjoyed it like I did, buddy. And thank you for joining me, and thanks for doing it last minute. We really appreciate
oh
that.
yeah.
I know I do. My I'm already losing my voice right now as it is. Imagine if I was talking the whole damn time.
Oh yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right, so okay, so all right, so I join after. Okay, cool, and then right, and then we'll watch them burn it down. Can you help me get them in the party so I can have a chat with them there, Bulldog, for interviews? Thank you, buddy. Top three DK Valley Fast Fed, is that right? All right, good deal. Dude, my man, you were all over it, dude.
Yeah. I
And then what
covered
happened
the
there?
pit road. Screwed you.
Yeah, what happened? Little contact coming down pit road. No, I mean me and Brandon talked about it early in the race. Getting down from 200 plus to what is 55-mile-an-hour pit road speed. That ain't no easy feat, you know. Yeah. I'm proud of you though, man. Good job by you. That was fun to watch. Those SHR Fords were rolling, man. All right, so we're getting these guys in here. You want me to start with third or first? Well, DK's the man in here. Let's roll off with our winner. Hey, man, DK Brown. Uh, Let me tell you something. 18 car, Daytona 500 champion. What's that sound like, bud? Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, when y'all went from out of nowhere to the front three there, that was awesome. Yeah, see, that's unfortunate. I didn't know about the lag issue, and that kind of explains the separation that we kind of had through the field tonight. So, but that's also leads me to my next question there. After those green flag stops there in stage three, it was I want to say you, Fast Fed, and your teammate there, Chase, right? And you guys cycled out to the lead there. It was just you three up front. So yeah, I saw that. Um, Yeah, so is that what happened? We saw the 32 um, make a little contact with the apron, then you two kind of split apart there. What happened there, and what did you see there from your point of view? Oh man. I got you there. That's what I was about to tell you. As unfortunate as it sounds, that might have been the best thing that could have happened to you there in the 19 there. As funny as that sounds, because from what I could tell, obviously Fast Fed was left by himself there up front after that had happened, and then it looked like you and the 19 of Chase were able to link up with the 41 of Valley there after that, and then you ended up running him down and ended up pulling off that pass for the win in the Daytona 500. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw, and it was the. Yeah, what were you thinking down there through that last lap? I was waiting for Valley to kind of slip up to the outside there and try to make something happen, but he looked like he kind of stayed behind you, and you drove her on home into victory lane. Yeah. Well, man, thank you for joining us here in the booth, and we really appreciate it. Thank you for the show. You had me and my buddy Brandon up here out of our seats in the booth, man. We were starting to lose it there a little bit. Thanks for the show. Congratulations on the Daytona 500, man. Looking forward to watching you the rest of the season, man. Good luck. Thank you. All right, let's go to our second place car. Valley, you got a copy here, buddy? Is Valley in here?
No.
All right, let's chat with our third place finisher, the man. You got me here, Fast Fed.
What's up, man? Yeah, I got you.
Hey, buddy. You were looking so strong there in that third stage, leading the whole time, and then just kind of the way things shook out there, it ended up not really working out your way. Tell me what you saw there. How'd you get to that lead there in the third stage? I know you were kind of mired back in the back of the field there in the beginning. We saw you making a bunch of moves to the outside, trying to make things happen, and then ultimately when stage 3 rolled around, when it was winning time, money time, 32 was out front. Tell me about your ride there around Daytona, bud.
All about track position, man.
Yep.
I got a good restart on the final stage restart. Was able to get to the bottom and lead the field around, and that's really what made it happen.
Speaking of your restarts, dude, I saw you made some serious moves there. I believe you started on the outside, maybe, if not, at least once, if not twice, and you were able to drop the hammer and ultimately take the lead off that outside. That couldn't have been easy. That was really impressive.
Start gears, man.
That's the name of the game, huh?
Yeah, definitely. But I had a really fast car as well, so.
Yeah, you did, man. You sure did, and the strategy was kind of shaking out your way there with those green flag stops. And I know it was you in the 18 and 19 after the field that got separated there. Y'all kind of came off a pit road there in that green flag stop off of in stage 3 there. What were you thinking there as the laps were winding down with those guys, and what you were trying to do moving forward as the laps started to click off?
I knew I was screwed when I was out that far, and they had 4 cars lined up, nose to tail. I mean, can't do nothing about that. So I just tried to block it right there, and the 22 was in the grass, so 2 or 3 laps to go, and I kind of went high because I figured it'd be on the track, and I slapped the wall a little bit, and that let DK get a run. That was it.
And that ended up being, yeah, can't do nothing about it. I heard that ended up being the race winning move, but there's no denying that 32 was an absolute rocket ship tonight, man. Pretty good drive, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Your big night last night. Congratulations on that. I was tuning in, and tell us about that. Your drive at the Glen there in the NASCAR Heat Pro League.
That was some intense shit right there. I'll tell you
Yeah, I was biting my fingernails watching my phone, dude. I've never done that before. I was like, man, these guys are good. But
yeah, shout out to him. That was a clean race, intense battle with 3 cars, and then last night was freaking awesome.
yeah, dude, very
I
cool.
was good too.
That was good too.
Too.
I mean, the Outlaw Racing Series is full of NASCAR Heat Pro League drivers like yourself, man. These guys are seriously fast. This is a very fast league that Smoke Fan has got started up, and I know I, for one, am glad to have you in, and I know everybody else is. Thanks for joining us, man. Congratulations on the win last night, and congrats on the win. Congrats on the run tonight.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's good.
Thanks for joining us, Fed. Appreciate it, man. Good run. Thanks for the show.
Have a good night, bud.
All right. What a race around Daytona, man. Brandon, what'd you think, buddy?
I loved it.
I loved it.
Like, there's just so many good things.
So we kind of got to the
Just
bottom
watching
of we kind of figured out what are the causes of the separation of the packs, where we did have a lag issue here tonight. That's kind of why we had some incidents taking place, and that's probably why some of the wrecks happened that I probably called the wrong way. It was probably just lags that I obviously couldn't see, but all in all, it was phenomenal racing. These guys are so fast. Like I said, got all kind of pro league drivers in here, and it's an honor just to watch these guys roll around. I know I couldn't hang with them, that's for sure. I'm just some old dirt guy. Now, to conclude the night, we're going to watch DK burn him down with the checker flag and Daytona 500 victory. Brandon, just wanted to thank you again for joining me, man. Really helped out.
Thank you.
Phone's ringing. Hang on a minute. Did you get an invite yet there, Brandon? I have not had one yet.
No.
Oh, that's right. DK's in the party. I'm tripping. What up, champ? Talk to me, brother. Hey, man, you put on a show on the racetrack, but I want to see an even better show here. Burn them goodies to the ground. Well, there ain't no better time to try your first burnout than after winning the Daytona 500, if I got to guess. Alright, we're loading in now, then we'll give you the cue to fire it up, pop that clutch, and let her eat, baby. Put on a show for the fans there on the front stretch. Good to go there, brother. Hammer down. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting your 2019 Outlaw Racing Daytona 500 champion, the 18 car DK Brown. Come on. Going through that infield grass, the same infield grass that the legendary Dale Earnhardt burned down that number 3 in his first Daytona 500 there in 2000, I want to say 99 maybe. 98, 98. There we go. Need to brush up on my NASCAR history. Oh, dude, just correct my dumb self whenever. This burnout is brought to you by Sunoco, fueling victory since 19 whatever. Where's my statistician there? Need you again. And there you have it, boys and girls. Your Daytona 500 champ, parking it at the start-finish line, unbuckling from his race car, coming to take that checkered flag. Congratulations, 18 DK Brown. You are the Daytona 500 champion. Come on, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Looking forward to it myself. Looking forward to following you the rest of the year. Congratulations again, man. You got it, brother. That's going to do it for us here. I've been your host, AJT17, joined by my man, Brandon White. Brandon, any closing thoughts here before we shut her down here on NASCAR Heat 3?
That's an amazing race there. I was more happy that I was able to commentate it. So.
Well, I was happy to have you, man, and like I said, you are the man for joining up with me. I'll have you in the booth here anytime. It was definitely a privilege to have you in here, and thank you again for doing it last minute there, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
You got it, man, and that is going to do it for us here tonight. This has been the Outlaw Racing Series brought to you by the Outlaw Racing Station. I'm AJT signing off here tonight. We'll see y'all next week. And once again, congratulations to your Daytona 500 champion, DK Brown.